Hey, everybody.
Hi.
How you doing? It's Michael Montgomery and
Willemina Montgomery.
this is Renzo Live, a quick weekly update on something interesting that's happening in real estate. And we thought today it would be very topical to chit-chat about the new mortgage rules, right?
That's right. Yeah, there's been some changes recently. Now, Mike, tell us what are the changes that have happened?
Yeah, there's been a few changes. But the one that we're hearing the most about is this new stress test. Now, this is no real new addition to the mortgage world because it's already been done for high ratio mortgages. So if you have 5% down, you already are being part of this stress test.
Yeah, anything under 20% down is considered a high ratio mortgage.
So what it is the number that you are qualified at, you will have to be stress test at a higher rate, 2 points higher, or the benchmark price, or the benchmark rate.
Yeah.
So whichever one of those two is higher, you will be approved at, but you will still pay your normal rate. So the idea there is that you're not overspending, you're not getting into too much household debt.
That's right. Yeah. So it's the idea being that they're trying to see whether you could still afford your mortgage payment if interest rates were to go up. So that's the whole idea behind it.
Yeah, and now it's affecting you even if you have 20% down or more. As long as you're getting a mortgage, this will impact your buying power. It won't impact your interest rate. It'll just impact your buying power. So who does it affect?
Who does it affect? So really, like you said, it affects anyone. Now, previously it was people who were paying less than 20% down. Now it also includes people that are paying more than 20% down. So really, anyone who's in the market to buy a property with a mortgage is going to be impacted by this.
Mm-hmm. And when does it come into effect?
Now, we do have a little bit of time, and the rules go into effect on January 1st, 2018. So what that means is anyone who's approved for a mortgage before January 1st will still have the old rules still apply. So but the cutoff is January 1st, although we do recommend if you are kind of on the cusp and if you are pushing your budget, your pre-approval budgets on the higher end, we do recommend that you get something tied up before the first.
And always when it comes down to these days, we always get the question as it starts to approach, hey, do I just need to be conditional? Do I just have to submit my offer before then? Or do I have to take possession before January 1st?
Yes.
And that's not the case. It does need to be accepted through the underwriter. So it needs to be sent in and the underwriter, the lender has to say, yes, you're good to go. But you can take possession afterwards. Again, all of this stuff, we should preface all of this with you should talk to your mortgage broker more about this because they will have a lot more insight. So it does have to be approved by the lender, but you don't have to have taken possession by then. But that doesn't mean if I put in an offer on Christmas Day, let's say, and we remove conditions right before that you necessarily will. So this is important. This is really important as you move forward.
Now, one important thing to just point out is this all sounds like it's, we've all seen the headlines and as much your buying power is reduced by as much as 20%. Now, this sounds scary, especially if you might be thinking about getting into the market and now all of a sudden what happens, can I still buy a house? Important thing to note is a lot of times we find most buyers don't actually go up to their max purchase price. So a lot of times when you actually look at what are your monthly costs, a lot of times people find that they don't want to go up all the way to their max approval amount. So you may be approved for $500,000, but you may only be comfortable going up to $400,000. And so in that case, the new rules they won't make a difference for you in terms of what you were actually planning to buy. So that's an important thing to keep in mind. It's not always smart to go up right to your approval amount.
And oftentimes this can aggravate some people. Oh, they're making these new rules and that sort of thing. But ultimately, it is giving you a little bit more of a buffer. If interest rates were to increase or if something was to happen even in your life or you needed to borrow more money for some odd reason, you do have a little bit more of a buffer there. So it is somewhat of a blanket solution, but it does have its positive impacts as well. So, Willemina, what are some actionable steps right now?
Right now, okay. So first thing is if you're at all considering buying in the next year, the first step is talk to a mortgage broker. So ask your realtor. If you already have a mortgage broker, great. Talk to someone who can explain these things to you and how it applies to your personal situation. A lot of times, it's helpful to get the numbers on paper, see where you fit in, what you're comfortable with, what you're approved for, and again, just talk to someone who can
stay calm.
Stay calm.
Stay calm and call your mortgage broker. Stay calm and call your mortgage broker. This will be one of those things that will have its impact, and then as we start to go through and